So you've created a piece in Photoshop and now you want to save it and share it with the world or turn it in as a JPEG. The way that you do that is by going up to File and Save As. This is going to be important to follow because I always have students that can never remember where they saved their work or what they titled it as. It's going to be really important that you title it with something that you can remember rather than its default name. So this one I downloaded from Unsplash, and if I saved it as it would be Karsten Wingard-NEOG, you know what I mean? So it gets a little bit confusing. What I'm going to do instead is save it with something that I can remember. Preferably, if you're turning it in for an assignment, the assignment name would be awesome. But that's not all I need to do because by default, the format is Photoshop. And we do not want to save it and turn it in as a Photoshop file. If we're coming back to work on it, Photoshop file is perfectly acceptable and preferred because once you save it as a JPEG, you commit the edits, you discard the layers, and you're unable to go back in without some serious reworking. So if you want to work on it again, make sure you save it as Photoshop. And then you can always save it as a JPEG when it's ready to turn in. So I'm going to change my file type to JPEG, but you'll see that there might not be an option for that. So if that happens, you will need to save a copy. Click on Save a Copy. And now when I click on the drop-down menu, I've got a lot more options to choose from. Just choose JPEG. Standard JPEG is the format that you should really be turning your work in on Canvas. So click JPEG. Now, the problem is that I would be saving this to downloads. Students do this all the time. It's best to just get organized right away and stay organized. Logging into Google Drive is going to give you the Google Drive option in your sidebar. So you can navigate to Google Drive and then you can find your folder that you've created, digital arts or digital art, depending on which one you're in, and click New Folder within whatever folder that is. And I would title it what the assignment name is. This one, Doggy. And I'll click Create. So now it's going to save it on my drive in a folder called Doggy. It's going to save it as doggy.jpg, and I'll be able to turn it in. And I'll click Save. And JPEG options, depending on if you want a small file or a large file. These computers can handle large files, so it's fine if you just click OK. And that is how you save your work in Photoshop.